Nice hat.
Hey, a hat.
Hats off! Get the hats! Get the hats!
Hats. You need hats.
We are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of the Well-Hatted Cinema Club. I'm Eric, joined as always by my two incredibly handsome co-hosts. Give it up for Micah and Brian. Look at you guys. You can't look at me. I'm not here. I'm off camera. I'm at the beach right now. Don't have the greatest Wi-Fi, so we're going just the ghost and presence and spirit of me today. So, yeah, you guys should hopefully see my face back next week. But, guys, if you haven't checked it out, last week we finished up talking about Euphoria Season 3, the series finale. So if you haven't, go ahead and take a look. That was last week, right? That was last episode?
Last episode was
episodes
Masters
ago?
of the Universe.
Yeah,
That's
2 episodes
right.
ago.
It was just Masters of the Universe because we filmed it at the same time. No, we didn't. So, guys, go check out our last 2 episodes. Talked Masters of the Universe, Euphoria. The episode before that. Episodes should be live now. So go check that out. Micah doing a great job on our YouTube channel. And then Brian on our short form content on our Instagram and TikTok. So go check those out as well, guys. We really appreciate you guys interacting with us. But this week, got a new spanking movie to talk about. I'll kick it over to Micah to talk about our movie of the week. Micah.
Yeah, Steven Spielberg's Disclosure Day, about aliens being real, starring Emily Blunt, Josh O'Connor, and a whole great cast. You've got
There's a ton of people in this movie.
a ton of people in this movie. Anyway, Josh O'Connor, Emily Blunt,
Colin
followed
Firth,
them.
Coleman Domingo.
Yeah, Coleman Domingo. Yep. Following them as Josh O'Connor tries to spread the word about the presence of aliens, try to do the titular disclosure of from Disclosure Day. And then there's I wouldn't really call it a twist, but there's more revealed, dealing with the aliens and when they came and how long they've been here and their efforts to unite or progress the Earth. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
I think that's a fair explanation.
Yeah, without I guess spoiling, which we can get.
Yeah,
into
I don't
later.
want to spoil it. I just I guess Micah, I know you liked it. Eric, I don't know about you, but like whether you liked or didn't like this movie is one thing. I can't believe how like divisive in a really aggressive way this movie is.
Divisive how?
So I think the big thing about this movie is if you aren't a fan of Spielberg, you know what I mean? Like you weren't coming to see this movie because, it's a new Spielberg, sci-fi project. I'm just saying, like, I've only seen this a few times, and I try not to engage with the internet.
The online demons
No.
against
But like,
Fighting children.
I try not to engage as much as I can, but like, I saw a lot of the, this movie was so ass, worst movie I've ever seen in theaters, which doesn't come up very often, and I'm really shocked about that.
Those are the people that this is their like 5th ever movie.
That's what I'm saying.
I would just ignore them. You don't have to listen to that.
No, but my ramp up with that point was.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. I'm just saying that like it's tough to argue with that because like it is a very like movie that I could see some people loving. You know what I mean? Like if some parts worked or didn't, it's not for everyone. And
What
I
did
feel
you
like
think, Brian?
So
you didn't like it? You're on the fence as well?
No. First 2/3 I loved. And I want to also say that like my man Spielberg, this dude is the maestro. Like his camera work, you know what I mean? Like what he does. Yeah. And I know that will be underappreciated by some people, but if you notice it, you got to give it like the damn, like this is like he's one of the best of all time for a reason. And I found myself really hooked through the first 2/3. I'm like classic Spielberg's, great sequences. There's a little bit of mystery. With the third act, and I'm going to hold off on, saying any spoilers just for the time being, but the third act, I don't know, like I get it. It kind of slowed down. Like, you know what I mean? I fell off on it a little more, but I could see if a lot of people really vibing with it, but I feel like hating on it. It's like, I don't know. I keep ranting. Eric, go ahead.
Yeah, no. I think to your and yeah, Brian, you caught me. My mic fell over. A bee started attacking me.
I was gonna say Micah was talking. I just heard
Heard a little
Mike.
crash. So I dropped my mic. But yeah, no. Going to this movie, I guess coming back to your original point about what people expectations were going to the movie, because I remember when this movie was announced, it was, hey, Spielberg's doing an alien abduction movie with John Williams scoring it again. Everyone's like, oh yeah, hell yeah. And then you kind of get into like, oh, it's more about the script is more getting into not necessarily an abduction, but how would society react preemptively to the idea of aliens being released, right? Which is a very unique concept and an insight into, you can talk a lot about you can touch on so many different aspects of the human race. Like we're getting into themes on religion, we're getting into themes on, government oversight, things like that. But while there's maybe some people didn't expect all that, they just wanted an alien abduction movie. Me, on the other hand, I was totally on board with this movie. I really enjoyed it. Honestly, I enjoyed the third act. It didn't really lose me. I mean, there's a lot of great set pieces. I'm gonna give the biggest, similar to Brian, flowers to Spielberg in terms of just the camera work. We've seen it in any type of movie he's done, whether that's like when we were watching Tintin. Man knows how to
feel like it.
I'll go through with what I really liked.
Yeah.
I really liked, actually I think this is my favorite performance of the year so far. I liked Emily Blunt so much in this.
I agree. I thought one of her best.
Yeah, the trailer, I don't know if it did the whole movie a disservice, but, her one scene in the trailer where she's like communicating in the alien language, I was like, man, that just looks off and strange. But like watching it, that's by design. Her character is actually like super expressive and gives you a full range of emotion. I think, not to take away from Josh O'Connor, but I just liked her parts of the movie better.
Yeah, he was fine. He was just he could have been, the everyman.
Mm-hmm.
He was serviceable.
Yeah, he just had like a different job. I think I enjoyed her scenes as like she gains these fun powers. All those scenes were super fun where she just starts reading people's minds a little bit and speaking their language, and like, as she's like rushing to work. And I thought that whole sequence was really funny and entertaining. Leading, like, honestly, like the escape from the hospital, enjoyed that. I mean, what's his name? Nepo baby.
Wyatt Russell.
Wyatt Russell.
Wyatt Russell, yeah. I mean, he did a great job because I hated him. He sucked. I was like, get with the program, man. Your girlfriend.
I was sitting next to you.
Minds.
I thought you hated him because you did hate him. But
yeah.
I thought you hated the performance.
Oh no. He was having the exact desired effect on the audience of being like, dude, get with the program. Your girlfriend can read minds. You just got to get with it.
She clocked him too early before she ditched him.
Yeah. She read it. It's like, every not great boyfriend's worst nightmare. Your girlfriend can now read your mind also.
Also, his character, like you said, needs to get with the program, because it's not like this was a typical normal situation when she had this, like I said, breakdown, this development. Because one, what she did on the newscast certainly warrants being like, damn, I don't know if this is a medical thing. Two, the world is literally going to shit, and she's telling you she feels she needs to go west, and you can't even be bothered. You know what I mean? It's not like it's like, oh, I have Royals tickets on Thursday. I don't want to go. Like, people are scrambling for their lives.
World War III quietly going on in the background is so interesting. You just get bits and pieces everywhere you go. Like, the gas station is running out of gas and it's crowded and gas is expensive. They might have to update that in post. I was looking at the gas and I was like, pretty good deal.
How much was it? I was curious about that because I missed it and I thought the same thought. Like, I'm like, how much was it?
It's probably like something $4 something, which when they filmed this, it's probably like, oh, that's ridiculous.
That's way out of.
Not like gas gonna go above $4.
$5. What is this, California? This is
The movie's-
OKC. Yeah,
The movie's coming out within a year or so. I mean, like, come on.
surely we wouldn't. Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, I thought those were my standouts. Coleman Domingo is great as guy on phone, and then when we get to meet him in person, he's got like less to do. But I think those scenes where he's walking around like Nate Field during the rehearsal, which is kind of like what he's doing. It is so interesting. It's just like becoming one of those like good to see him actors. He's getting so much work.
I think Colin Firth did a good job, but his role in the movie kind of fizzled out by the end. You know what I mean? He didn't have this big. I thought we were building towards him pushing it too far, and something happened. You know, using the device.
Yeah, the device. Yeah, that thing.
Yeah, I figured we were building to something crazy, or maybe his death. Because you know what I mean.
It would have like more severe repercussions.
Well, because they kept saying like it's like you can't be doing this. You almost died, and like even Coleman Domingo later in the movie is like you keep what they call it, like leaping or landing.
Yeah,
it was like and then they're like he's like you cannot this is beyond your understanding. He looks like shit in the back half of this movie. He does look pretty
terrible by the end.
So I'm waiting for it, and then at the end he just is like just sits down, and like and stops. And I think, I'm sorry, I just want to finish my point. I'm saying I was just saying I think that kind of like reflects my point with this movie, where there's a lot of interesting stuff going on. It's not that I don't like the ending, and I'm certainly not one of those people who'd be like, it was dumb. I see what they were trying to say. I just think it was a little anticlimactic at the end of the day. Whether you're a Spielberg fan, you like this movie, you didn't, it kind of just was like, all right, it's over. Disclosure day.
Yeah, I think like I was heard some interesting thoughts about like Spielberg's pretty old and he does genuinely believe in aliens, and they related it to like what would make the world stop if it was at like that heightened of tensions and like all come together. I thought I don't know her name at this point, but the news anchor at the end, I thought she was incredible.
Yeah,
that was gonna be my standout. And let me know again, guys, if I'm
you're coming in clear. Talk your shit if you want.
She's fifth man of the year.
Yeah, it was truly. It was like her performance there at the end. She's kind of upstaging everyone in the room in terms of just like I completely believed her that she was a news anchor reading this for the first time, eyes like watering up. She truly can't believe it. And obviously we're getting all these Spielberg directed found footage style shots on film of, all these we were making jokes in the car ride back with all of us. Like, I mean, these aliens crash a lot on Earth. They crash a lot. For having an open sky, they're landing on the planet a lot. I mean, you can infer that they're getting shot down. But I was trying to find the name of the actress that plays the news anchor woman? At the
I'm not sure.
But I thought she did a great job. But yeah, also other standouts in terms of the cast. I agree with Micah in terms of Emily Blunt. She's in a ton this year. Has a ton recently, and seemed to be having fun when she needed to, and then also having kind of the weight on her shoulders. And again, my point earlier about like the third act with the set piece, I thought in itself, like disclosing the evidence and going through that we're getting a whole scene between New York and Kansas City and seeing the interactions between the different news outlets. Acting as a set piece in itself, and the stress of that. I was on the edge of my seat for that scene. But
yeah, I feel like obviously Emily Blunt being the standout, she was fantastic. But again, Eric, a lot of points you were making is kind of why like this movie is like you think of a Spielberg movie, you know what I mean? Like there are other ones that are a little bit flatter, maybe a bad third act. Hell, War of the Worlds, a lot of people hated that. You know what I mean? That third act too.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like what we were watching on camera, it is good. That ending scene, I see what they were trying to push. I get it. Like it was great. I just feel like it's one of those things where when I was watching the first 2/3 of this movie, I was like, I am locked in. I have to pee. I don't even want to get up. This is amazing. And when the third act came around, I was like, I get what you're trying to say, Spielberg, even though you are 80. I liked it, but let's not pretend that it didn't take a step down. Like the pacing really whoosh, grinded to a halt by the end. And I can see why that like threw some people off. But I liked it.
I mean, I'm going to disagree with you because I think
Okay, no, please.
spent a lot of time on here hating the overly big, overly done third act, and here you have a more emotional third act.
That's actually a good point.
I would say, you can't. I mean, this is a different kind of movie. This is, this is. You get to the big thing. You get to the disclosure. Aliens are real. Here's an alien. You get to learn what happened to them, because I did like that the movie forces you to piece kind of everything you're learning, kind of as Emily Blunt is. I think Josh O'Connor's character is a little bit ahead of the ball, but you really are kind of just thrown in there, and you got to kind of like figure out when you first see Colin Firth. You don't know what he's doing or what's happening. What he starts doing to Josh O'Connor's girlfriend in the movie.
I would say, just to your point, like, yeah, you're kind of living the movie through Jane at certain points.
Yeah,
like,
for a while there, yeah.
Yeah.
Micah, that's a good point, because you're right. We live in a world where, like, third acts, when they fall off, are usually the opposite problem. Or even when they don't fall off, we have the, big, you tried the big spectacle to finish off the movie, and it was too much. And this one decided to do something different. My thing is, I don't know, like, because on one hand,
I wanted the UFO.
No. And that actually brings me to my point where I was like, I think the marketing for this movie fucked up in a couple ways. Like, I don't think some of the shots they showed in the trailer they should have shown. In fact, I would even, that's a big one. The UFO coming out of the smoke, the shot with the deer, the rotate one. And if they really were smarter, they probably would have even like made it unclear that it was about aliens from the jump. I don't know. That would have been a little harder, but I do think like they made it seem like you're like, oh, you're going to see these aliens. Like it's coming. And the general audience is going and being like, well, we saw them at the end through found footage. That, like, you know what I mean? I don't know. You don't have to pander to the lowest common denominator, but I think the marketing was a little bit misguided.
I see what you're saying though, because we're at a point now where Spielberg, like, for some of us, it's an event to go watch a Spielberg film. Like, the three of us, we're sitting there in the theaters, we're looking at the camera work, we're like, this is incredible. How is he doing this? Right? Like, our friend Mike's getting sick because he's getting motion sickness because Spielberg is moving the camera around. He was saying, he was like, I was getting a little nauseous. It was during like the cornfield scene.
That's mad funny.
It's just because Spielberg uses the camera as like it's a live person in the scene, right? And that's just that's what we appreciate Spielberg for many things. But for the audience or for the general public, we're looking at Spielberg's last couple of movies, right? And obviously there's some COVID ones in there, but these aren't hitting the marks that a Jurassic Park or back in the day, and that's unfair to compare it to. But he's not on the most impressive run at the box office, right? So yeah, I agree with you, Brian, because showing that scene with the deer turning into an alien, like,
yeah,
I wish in the context of the movie I hadn't seen that, but does that probably put some butts in seats? Probably.
Yeah, that's a good point. But like, Eric, you brought up the point too. It is Spielberg. I think it's safe to say this might not be his best, but it's fucking Spielberg. So it falls somewhere in the spectrum, wherever it rank. But at the same time, like, you have to, with the audience given, whether it's the young, phone, Netflix, those kids, or the kind of people Mike was talking about who only see 5 movies a year. It's like, if you put Jaws or E.T. out today, like, not like it wasn't seen from childhood, like, I bet people would bitch and moan about that too. Like, like you said,
that's why you disregard those people.
I know, and I'm aware of what I'm doing while it's happening, Mike. I promise you. I just can't help it, because I'm like, it's like, some of those shots were so good. Like, what are we talking about? Like, when Josh O'Connor steals that car, like, the camera work there, I'm like, damn, like, he still got it, Steven.
One long take,
the car chase was very exciting.
Yeah, it's great.
Props to the character for going back for her. I would have cut my losses, but been like, damn, that's crazy. She got possessed. Anyway,
What if it was reinforced with con? He drove that shit through the wall. I'm just picturing there's like a load-bearing beam right in the middle of those windows.
No, it's a good point. Yeah, I want to take a minute to get you guys' thoughts. I think this is officially the last time we're gonna get John Williams and Spielberg working together after like 50 years of partnership. What'd you guys think of John Williams' score in this one?
great. Fit the movie
I
to
love-
a T.
yeah.
Yeah.
The
I
first,
thought it
like I
was-
said,
Go ahead, Brian.
I'm sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead. No, I was just saying, like, it definitely was great because, again, for a while there, I was sucked in. I'm like thinking, like, this is classic Spielberg. You know, that opening scene, everything about it. I'm like, they're in sync. This is the two guys who work together a bunch, and it's working. Go ahead, Eric.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, I'm right there with you guys. Like, it feels like classic movies, right? Those movies we were raised on watching, like Indiana Jones and something like that, where, you know, when Colin Firth and his bad guys roll up, you get a John Williams, like he plays the bad guy, like little, like
The overture?
dreadful note, like here they come type of note, and it's just classic. And it wasn't too like overbearing, I'd say. Like there isn't like a prototypical, I guess, like theme, like that he's trying to like break the, you know, what am I trying to say here? Like reinvent the wheel, come up with something crazy new for their last thing. I thought it just fit. Everything fit for this.
Yeah, Eric, to that point, like, you can see a movie for the first time and recognize a great score. Like, you know what I mean? You hear it, and you're like, this is good. Happened with Sinners for me. Happened with even Masters of the Universe. I was listening, and I'm like, this score is smacking. But a iconic theme doesn't become an iconic theme until the movie is a little more solidified. You know, like at least for a little bit. You know, so it's hard.
That's a good point.
It's hard to say. Like
What I liked about it. Oh, what were you gonna say, Brian?
No. I was just saying. I was like, this movie just came out. Like, you can't be like, was it as iconic as Star Wars? I'm like, probably not.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say that, like, this might just be recency bias, but it was like the John Williams full orchestra sound is like, you know, a lot of movies feel like just less full, less instruments, or it's like just one piano going crazy or one violin, you know, if it's a horror movie or it's electronic or something. But like back to like the really big full orchestra where you get all the instruments, you know. That just, I think, adds a different sound to this kind of like adventure drama.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. And I think adventure is the right word. And like, again, I'm just thinking back to something like that pairing with an Indiana Jones, where this just feels very like we're on a roller coaster with this story, right? We're in the shoes of Jane, of Emily Blunt's, what was her name again? Emily Blunt's characters. We're in their shoes.
I can't remember at all.
Which
it's Emily Blunt.
Yeah, it's Emily Blunt, which is just fun living through their shoes. I think to Micah's point, because as the audience we're getting to go along for the ride, and I think when you hear that there's an alien movie, there's that inherent like I want to get all the answers either up front or all right, I deserve them at the end. And I maybe some people walked out of the theater like, all right, so what did she say? You know, and I guess maybe that's not the point of the movie. The point is to listen, right? Like, listen, go look back and reminisce on the story and what lessons did you take away from the movie and how people react.
Yeah, Eric, it's like listen, it doesn't you don't have to like the movie, but if you say listen, I'm like, the whole point was empathy. And if that's lost on you, I don't know what to fucking tell you. That doesn't mean you have to love the movie. But if you're like, like the ending was stupid, like, why did you just say listen? I'm like, let's use our brains a little bit. Let's think back.
We have to spoon feed it.
Yeah, you do, bro. That's the reality we live in now. For the people I shouldn't listen to. Back to Micah's point, in fairness. But yeah.
To go to the more like jokey, trolly side, it did like hit me for a half second when, you know, we're doing Disclosure Day and the Coleman Domingo is pulling up, which is clearly like the alien that they had said that they had sneaked out from Colin Firth's, you know, Ward X or whatever it's called company. I'm like, that silhouette, that they're gonna pull ET out. Like, it hit me for like half a second. I'm like, is that gonna be ET when they pull him out? Are they doing a glove shitto, as Mike would say?
Absolutely not.
Thank
That's why
God.
he's the GOAT.
Thank God he knows better than that. Because I looked at him like, if that's ET, I'm killing myself in front of everyone here. Because that would just be the worst possible way for Spielberg to do this. But
people were talking about it being like a tie-in with Close Encounters, but I think whether it was or not, it's more about he was going for like the image of aliens that we've seen everywhere. You know what I mean?
it's a classic
from
alien look. Yeah.
Right, the supposed Roswell ones. You know what I mean?
I think he relies heavily on like cultural knowledge of aliens landing in America. Like, you should just, little green men, boom, like this is aliens. Like, get it, understand, touch you with the finger. UFO is like a circular disc looking thing, like, Area 51, all that stuff. He's like, yeah, you probably know, even just like casually, you've absorbed it. And he's like, okay, relying on that. And he's like, well, I'll add a few things myself, and that's what you have to catch up on. So it's like, come with your homework done on aliens.
Yeah, it worked. For me, it worked.
Yeah.
Obviously, if people like, that's silly. And I'm like, bro, the whole point of this movie is started with Roswell, which is, that's what the aliens supposedly look like. Well, what did you want? Like, the Cloverfield, Quiet Place types, they come out with it'd be hard to be empathetic if they came out with some like crazy claws and shit like that. So I don't know.
You have to feel bad when they get tortured that one time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, very Super 8 there. That was when they were like, they tortured them. I'm like, I know he was only producer on that one. It was JJ, but feels like a Super 8 thing. And I love Super 8.
Super 8. Yep.
All right.
He does.
Any final thoughts? Do you guys believe in aliens? I guess I believe in the possibility, but I don't care. Show me an alien or don't. I don't want to hear about maybe there was, maybe there wasn't. I'm like, show me an alien or leave me alone.
Micah, I'm with you. I do believe that there's other things out there.
Yeah, for sure.
It seems to be that maybe they've interacted with us or, like flown by. Sure. It has no effect on my faith or anything. We got enough issues down here. Like, they could come down and be like, here we are. And I'd be like, bruh, we got too much going on in America right now.
Have you seen the gas prices?
Circle back in another like 10 years or so.
Yeah.
I don't know if I liked it. I did think it was like nice and neat that like the religion question is brought up and then answered with a phone call. Does God love us the most? He's like, well, the most on earth.
Yeah.
Dust your hands off. Thank you, none. Thank you, sister.
Pop up.
She says the big thing. She's like, I don't think you ever lost your faith in God. You lost your faith in people. Well, you just wrinkled my brain, sister.
Boom, brother, sister. Yeah.
She was about to destroy the backpack in that house. That'll be my last thing. And he goes like, yeah, I'm gonna just take that with me.
It would have been so much worse because she would have been in possession of the backpack.
Yep.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yep.
All right, Eric, what about you? Aliens, yes, no?
Aliens, definitely. Definitely aliens out there.
Aliens here?
Aliens here. Aliens
here, definitely.
I'm putting a stamp on it. When this episode goes live next week, aliens definitely here. Like let it be known, I've said this. In our lifetime, will we find out that aliens exist? That's a interesting thought. I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna stand on it. But I will say my last little thing I laughed at during the movie was when Josh O'Connor and Emily Blunt are doing the shared, like Pensée from Harry Potter going back in time moment, and he sees the animals and he's like, they're not real. Those aren't. That's not a cardinal. That's not a deer. That got a good chuckle out of me. I was like, all right, Josh, relax. Let Emily cook here a little bit. But
when the cardinal showed up, I was like, oh, jeez, pick a different bird.
Yeah, and good.
It's like everybody picks a cardinal for a divine.
Right. Interesting casting with Spielberg too.
Well, this movie is super Catholic, so I mean, it
Yeah,
had to be
that's
a
true.
cardinal.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
which is strange because Spielberg's not Catholic. But
I know it was David was making that whole point about like the characters' names in the drive home, like Noah being the one that was holding. Noah was calling first character, I believe, being the one that was holding on to the knowledge, sitting on the knowledge for a while, and other names. And I don't know if there was I don't know, but yeah,
Spielberg has leaned away from Judaism in his movies since like Munich. Yeah, I feel like he's going a little more well, actually, I say that. What does he even put out? Ready Player One. Never mind. This movie.
well, the Fablemans is like
West Side
pretty
Story.
autobiographical.
Yeah, he's like, did you know that my mom was cheating on my dad?
Why do you think every character is like divorced or breaking up?
That's actually a good point.
I was watching War of the Worlds, and he was like, and the dad saved the day while that mom hit in New York and was fine.
Right.
And they're divorced. I was like,
look
oh yeah, I forgot.
look what it did
was the most divorced guy ever in that movie.
I was like,
also.
I forgot how
I just
divorced
thought
he
about that
is.
movie. He's bro, even more of that movie. He's like, and look what it did to the oldest son.
Yeah.
That shameless, Goku ass dude. He goes like, they're like, we gotta get out of here. He's like, I gotta go to the front lines without a weapon, and then dies.
But then he doesn't.
He doesn't die.
Oh,
2.5
I haven't seen it in a while.
act movie.
Sorry. He just kind of strolls up at the end. I don't know what that's about.
Yeah, that movie is missing an act at the end.
All right.
People hate it. I was already on board. I was like, oh yeah, Tom Cruise and Spielberg. Anyway, recent watches, anyone? Or next movie, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, next movie of the week, Brad. That's on you.
Pretty empty week here. No, I just meant more like there's things already in that I could pick. I've been debating if we should do The Furious next, but like maybe we should see Toy Story 5.
It's all
I'm gonna
brother.
say, all right, fuck it. Let's go Toy Story 5 just because I gotta know. I have to know, and it's on my fantasy team.
That's fair. He's getting the free points. Does this mean
All
I
right,
have
Toy
to
Story
watch Toy
7,
Story 4?
6.
Oh,
Well, yeah. So that I'll make this quick just so we can keep moving. But that brings me to my recently watch because I was the other day. I'm like, I haven't seen Toy Story 4 since it came out in 2019, and I loved the first 3, so I decided to watch it. And again, same reaction I had 7 years ago. It's pretty good. Like it's solid. I can't really point anything out wrong with it except for the suicidal fork that I know Micah hates.
Well, I don't know. They're trying to sell us trash and tell you it's a toy.
Well, yeah, he is brought into life by an unfeeling god, Bonnie, and then all he wants is a sweet embrace of death, and Woody will not let him. And then his ending works out okay. But again, these things it's just unnecessary. I'm kind of like I'm watching this thing and like, yeah, it's nice at the end when he's like, Bonnie will be okay, and they split up. But I'm like, I feel like it's gonna happen again in this next movie. Woody's gonna be like, I'm leaving for the 3rd time.
Yes, these things are extremely formulaic. But they make $1 billion easy.
But I'm saying it's
That's
different
right.
than just being typical formulaic because like I thought Toy Story 4 was funny at times. I thought like it had some emotional beats. Like it's a very competent movie on its own. It just doesn't need to exist. You know what I mean? That's the difference. So yeah, that was my one watch I want to talk about. Eric, Micah, why don't you?
yeah. I don't have. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, what'd you say? What were you gonna say, Eric?
Yeah, I don't have much from this last week. I've been at the movies, or at not the movies, at the beach. So not a ton of movie watching here. I will say a couple weeks. I didn't talk about it last week, but a couple weeks back, I watched Gone Baby Gone, which is part of that book series that I've been reading.
Boston, baby.
From Dennis Lehan. I didn't realize that was Ben Affleck's first film that he directed. And of course he cast his brother as the main character, Casey Affleck. Yeah, that's Casey Affleck's like second build movie when you look him up on IMDb, which I thought was funny for a guy that's obviously his first being Manchester by the Sea. Just didn't realize Casey Affleck doesn't have a ton of work, which is he does, but like when you think about it, Like he's not the top build guy in like Ocean's 11.
No, that's a good point.
And this is like him as a leading man. Just don't think he has leading man energy, but that doesn't mean he's not a good actor.
Hey, he's got the leading man statue.
He's got the leading man statue. There you go. Just not in the.
This is another like sad, mopey Bostonian, like the one he got nominated for. You know what I mean?
It's like, yeah.
Not as
If you haven't
mopey.
watched
He's not
it in a
as
while-
depressed.
No, but he's playing like a tough Boston guy, like private detective, and I'm like, Casey, that's not you, my friend. That's not you. But yeah,
Is this good as the book?
Yeah, it's not as good as the book. No, the book is better.
Okay.
But
So I remember the
definitely
ending being very like, oh, what would you have done? And I don't know if the book is the same way.
Don't watch. My whole point with this is if watch it, you were warned to watch. If you watch it with your significant other, this could get into a large argument. Which I got in trouble. We got into a long debate about it. So definitely worth the rewatch. But I haven't watched much else. What about you, Micah?
I went and saw The Furious, which was really good. It is like plot wise pretty much Taken, or like that like a Sound of Freedom, or that one Jason Statham movie where it's about like trafficked kids essentially.
Okay.
There's a mute guy. He's mute because of like past trauma they never get into, and he's got this daughter, and obviously he's a badass martial artist, and he's trying to like kind of train his daughter when he has custody of her, like when school's out, and then she just gets taken. And he goes on this rampage. He teams up with this journalist whose wife was investigating, and she also went missing. And he just happens to also be a badass martial artist, this journalist. And there's some crazy weapon stuff. There's bow and arrows used in ways I'd never seen. And the big culmination is this like 5-man fight, which is just incredible. The choreography of it to be so coherent and so fluid, and the skill that it must have taken for all 5 of these guys to work around the camera and each other safely. Just incredible stuff. Yeah, like the actual plot I thought was pretty thin, but then once she's taken, it's like we're off to the races.
Was it the same guy who did The Raid?
No, it's not.
No, okay. Well, but regardless, I mean, they definitely were trying to be like, this is an action movie, and obviously a lot of like, is it Hong Kong or was it like mainland?
I don't
China?
know because it doesn't take place in China. It's a Universal production, but the main character is Chinese, so I don't know. But he's not talking ever. But then like there's actors in this that I recognize, like the journalist. He was in like Mortal Kombat, like he speaks English. And
I saw that second one too recently.
Yeah, the bad guys. Like the movie is in English, but some of them you can tell are better at it than others.
All right, but I feel like this movie didn't try to be like, the most, the best drop. They were like, no, this is an action movie. Like we did some crazy stunt choreography. Come see it.
Yeah, there's some. They try like there's the kids have like a surprising amount to do, and I was like, are they, I didn't know how to feel about that, but it wasn't ever too much. So
cool. No, I've been meaning to see. I want to see it before it leaves theaters.
Yeah, it's definitely worth a watch. Definitely worth a watch. Some inventive stuff they were doing, I would say. There's some jaw-dropping stuff. All right.